Happy lunch hour, guys. All right, so as I sit here in the car, Mrs. P and I are in town, and she's got to run into one of these stores. Uh, Shopping's not my thing. Sorry, but she's got to go check out some stuff. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe she's doing Christmas shopping for me. I have no idea. But I was reading a story this morning that really comes into play for what we need to pay attention to. And a lot of you guys probably have all seen or heard or have family members tell you, gee, my grocery store looks fine. The prices are a little higher, but my grocery store is fine. There's still food, right? Okay. We've all heard that. I've seen comments. I've got emails, whatever it was. If that's what you see, congratulations. Just don't let it plan on it being forever. Story came out this morning that California, now mind you, I think I've told you before, we get it's either a third of our fruits or a third of our vegetables, and the other one is a quarter of our fruits or a quarter of our vegetables from California. Okay, so a significant portion of the U.S. food that we eat, that you grow, comes out of California. The drought in California has caused this, in 2022, the numbers, 752,000 acres to go fallow, meaning nothing's growing. On average, California has lost 10% of their farmland to the drought. The expectations are it's not going to be any better in 2023. We've talked about grand solar minimum over and over and over and over again. Okay, you guys know the deal. This is the reason why we have these crazy weather patterns, why we have volcanoes going off, all this sort of stuff. This was not something that should have come as a surprise to any prepper. A lot of us have talked about it. The media will, as usual, ignore it, going, oh, it's climate change, it's global warming. No. Okay, sorry. This is something that's scientific, not science fiction. So a prepper's staple, rice, right? The biggest rice-producing state in the country is California. I believe the second one is Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. There was an interview done in this story. It's on Fox Business if you guys want to go look at it. I'm sitting here in a car, so I don't have access to my laptop or anything like that. So if you want to find the link to this one, you're going to have to go look it up yourself. But there's a story in there about an interview with a guy who owns 5,000 acres of rice paddies, okay? Farmland to grow rice. He said this year he was able to harvest 700 acres. 1/7 of his farmland produced this year. You wonder why the price of rice is going up? That might have something to do with it. You wonder why the scarcity of rice is going up? That might have something to do with it. Rice is the number one food staple in the world. Okay? I mean, sure, Asia eats a lot of rice. Why? Because they can grow it there, right? All those of you guys that like sushi, yeah, okay. It ain't the fish that's causing the price to go up. It's the rice. But here you go. You've got the story on a state that has one third to one quarter of all our produce that we eat, and minimum 10% drop. Okay, the state's already said. This guy's saying, 1/7, what is that, 14%? So 86% drop in his harvest. What's 2023 going to bring? Do we have more drought? Y'all know how it's been in Tennessee, okay? I mean, I've been trying to fill my pond forever, okay, trying to get water into it. It just doesn't rain. Go watch Danny and Wanda on Deep South Homestead, and they will tell you over and over and over again, they got no rain. We're getting some now, okay, but, December 7th is not exactly December 6th. Tomorrow's Pearl Harbor Day. December 6th is not actually your prime growing season in 90% of the United States. So we're not growing food while we've got all this rain. Maybe in southern Texas they still can. Maybe in the deep, deep, deep south they still can. Maybe in California they still can. Except for the lack of water. Okay, now this is where we come to. Southern California was a desert. Okay, that was it. It was, and by the irrigation of the Hoover Dam and the Colorado River and everything like that, Southern California became a place to grow food, a metropolis, a large San Diego, Los Angeles, all the surrounding cities and everything like that. If there's no water, those cities will die, guys. And if 1/4 to 1/3 of our food comes from there, what happens to the rest of us when we have no food to eat? Okay? I'm not talking about you and me, because chances are we've got a lot of food put back, and chances are most of us have learned how to grow a lot of our food, whether it's in pots, in gardens, in greenhouses, whatever it would be. At least we've got something. But how about that 95% of the country that has nothing put back, that says, it'll all get better. This is all short-lived. No. These are the people that I keep saying, and probably everybody else does too, that you have to watch out for. They don't want to learn the facts. But when food production in California gets cut by 10%, what does that mean? That means there's 10% less produce. I don't care about the price. That just means there's 10% less produce on the store shelves. So that means for every 10 grocery stores, 1 feasibly would be empty. How many grocery stores in your town? Okay, near you. This is why stocking staples, rice, beans, that sort of stuff, is so important. I know it's the most boring thing. Oh, I went and bought 25 pounds more rice. It's not exciting. No, it's not. Okay, but it's going to be the difference between you starving and you eating. Go get some more staples, especially rice. It doesn't go bad, guys. You'll use it in something. With all those vegetables that you eat, those chickens that you have, whatever it would be, make fried rice. Okay, put a little bit of chicken in it, a can of chicken, a can of roast beef, whatever. Chicken fried rice. That's a good meal. Okay, and it's going to be something that you could be very happy for. Next year, the government has already said 6% inflation next year. The government says we have 8% this year. You guys know the reality about this. Food inflation really is about 50% this year. If we see another 50% food inflation next year, how well's your budget going to handle it? Sure, stuff's more expensive now than it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it would be. But what happens when stuff gets more expensive? Everybody can afford to buy 5 more pounds of rice. It's $4 or $5, okay? You'll be happy you have it. If this farmer is not the only one who's harvesting 1/7 of his land, imagine what happens when all farmers are only harvesting that much. When there is no beef, when there is no poultry, let alone the bird flu. I'm just talking about for lack of water, okay? Because that's what this is doing. Water is life. We've all talked about storing water, storing water, storing water. You can't store enough water to irrigate 5,000 acres. Just not possible. You need the rain. You need a reservoir, whatever it would be. These guys don't have access to it. And from them not having access to it, there's 2 options. 1, they figure out something else to do with the land, which means no food. Or 2, they sell the land altogether, which means no farmers. Neither one of which bide well for you and me eating. It's up to us to take care of ourselves, because all those sheep out there that don't believe this is ever going to happen have a big surprise coming for them next year. We'll see y'all tonight. Pinball out.